Good day, everyone. I'll be your presenter for today, Miss Loichindy Galvez, and today we will be tackling about gerunds and infinitives. Before going to our discussion, let's first read the lesson objectives. Explain the importance of using gerunds and infinitives properly. Deliver ideas clearly and persuasively through the correct use gerunds and infinitives. Apply the principle of writing effective sentences by employing the correct gerunds and infinitives. Let's talk about gerunds. I have there four words. And based on that four words, what have you observed? Is there difference or there same things in that four words? Now, I know you're thinking why those four words ends with the ing. So what really is gerunds? Gerunds are words that are formed with verbs but act as nouns. They're very easy to spot since every gerund is a verb with the ing tackled to its end. Just like the four words walking, traveling, voting, and dancing, it ends with the ing. Here are some examples of gerunds. Swimming is my favorite sport. Baking is one of my hobbies. I was afraid of hurting her feelings, and she loves reading books to the children in the library. Remember that gerunds are words that are formed with verbs but act as nouns. Present participles do not act as nouns, instead, they act as modifiers of complete progressive verb. To find gerunds in sentences, just look for a verb plus ing that is used as a noun. Since we already know the gerunds, let's now find out what are the types of gerunds. There are four types of gerunds: the subject, direct object, object of preposition, and subject complement. And every type I already provide an example on how gerunds being a subject and the example. Gardening is my favorite hobby. We all know that gardening is a verb, but here it is the name of the activity. Next is the direct object. The admiration here is not for the action of gardening, but for the result of the action. I have received several awards for gardening in the object of preposition. The awards have been given for the results of an activity. And last, the subject complement. So here, my favorite hobby is the subject and gardening as its complement. Proceed to the go plus gerunds. First things first, we use go plus the ing to describe leisure activities that we do in our free time. For example, let's go dancing this weekend. I went shopping last night. In other words, we use go plus the ing to talk about activities that we do for fun or something that we do. Here are some list of common activities we use with go plus ing or the go plus gerunds. Going on the other discussion, which is the infinitives, are a special form of verbs that can be used as a noun, adjective, or adverb. They can usually made by adding the word to before the base verb, and they can be useful when discussing actions without actually doing the action, such as I want to go home or to err is human. To plus verb in the base form can be used in a sentence as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Infinitives as a noun. To walk in the morning is a good habit. To stop the car suddenly cannot be a good move. To cheat in the exam is common nowadays. Infinitives as adjectives. The theater is the place to go. The road is the place to drive. Titanic is the movie to watch. Infinitives as adverbs. Moana is eager to see her family. It is dangerous to drive on this slippery road. Gerunds versus infinitives. A gerund is a verb form that ends in ing and is used as a noun. Example: walking, traveling, voting. An infinitive is the base form of a verb preceded by to. Example: to walk, to travel, to vote. And there's their difference. It can be tricky to remember which verbs are followed by the infinitives, the to form of the verb, and which are followed by the gerund, the ing form of the verb. Try to remember that gerunds are often used when actions are real, fixed, or completed. Example, I enjoy cooking. Infinitives are often used when actions are unreal, abstract, or future. Example, he wants to swim. Try to figure out what is the difference between gerunds and infinitives. Gerunds, thinking, writing, listening. Literally, you're doing the action, while the infinitives, to think, to write, to listen, the action were not yet done, or might done in the future. Whether you use a gerund or an infinitive depends on the main verb in the sentence. I expect to have the result of the operation soon. It is infinitive because of the word to have. I anticipated having the research completed eventually. Gerund because of the word having that ends with the ing. Gerunds can be used after certain verbs including enjoy, fancy, discuss, dislike, finish, mind, suggest, recommend, keep, and avoid. After prepositions of place and time. I made dinner before getting home. He looked unhappy after seeing his work. He looked unhappy after seeing his work. Schedule. To replace the subject or object of a sentence, Lachan likes eating coconut oil. Jumping off a cliff is dangerous but a real thrill. Infinitives can be used after certain verbs including agree, ask, decide, help, plan, hope, learn, want, would, like, and promise. After many adjectives, it is hard to make dinner this late. I find it difficult to describe my feelings about writing research essay. To show purpose. To left for Russia to study Russian. I came to the office to solve the mystery of the missing case. 5 simple rules to master the use of gerunds and infinitives. Rule number 1. Gerunds can be used as a subject of a sentence. Rule number 2. Both gerunds and infinitives can be used as object of a sentence. Rule number 3. Should be used after many adjectives. Rule number 4. Only infinitives are used after certain verbs followed by nouns or pronouns referring to a person. Rule number 5. Only gerunds are used after prepositions with one exceptions. So here are the rule number 1. Let's take a look at the example. Rule number 2. The rule number 3. Also rule number 4. And lastly, the rule number 5. This ends my discussion. I hope you learned something. Thank you for listening.